I never imagined I'd say something like that, let alone to him. It was a moment that changed everything. A decision born out of loneliness, silence, and a hunger for connection. And when I whispered those words to my stepson, he didn't flinch. He didn't run. He didn't even hesitate. This is not just a story of betrayal. It's a story of quiet wounds, of emotional starvation, and how unmet needs can become flames behind closed doors. This is my truth. My name is Rachel. I'm 36 years old, married to Mark for almost 7 years and stepmother to Ethan, his son from a previous marriage. From the outside, we were a picture-perfect suburban family. But inside I was disappearing. Mark was a good man once, but his passion for his career slowly eroded our intimacy. I became an accessory in his busy schedule, present but invisible. Ethan moved back in to finish school online. He was 21, tall, handsome, and so different from the awkward teen I met years ago. He looked like Mark, only softer, gentler. And unlike Mark, Ethan noticed me. It began with small moments. "You always make breakfast feel like home," Ethan said one morning with a smile that lingered too long. His words filled a silence I hadn't realized was strangling me. I should have dismissed it, but something inside me woke up. He noticed when I wore perfume. He complimented my earrings. He asked about my day. And for the first time in years I felt seen. The bond grew stronger. We cooked together, shared music, watched old films under blankets. One rainy evening, lightning knocked out the power. Mark was away. Ethan and I were alone. A bottle of wine, dim candlelight, a quiet documentary playing. And then our knees touched. We didn't move away. We didn't need to say anything. We both knew something was building. One afternoon I walked into the kitchen in a silk robe. He froze. I froze. He looked down, then looked away, but his hands shook as he reached for a glass. "Sorry," he said. "You don't have to be," I replied. That night he lingered in the kitchen after dinner. I sat on the counter sipping wine. He leaned beside me. We didn't touch, but we crossed a line. Another stormy night. Just us. Music played low. The smell of rain filled the air. I handed him a glass of wine. He stared at me, eyes unreadable. "Do you ever feel like you're holding something in so tight you might explode?" I asked. He nodded. I whispered, "Then stop holding it in." A long silence. Then I added, "Do it. Whatever you've been wanting to do." He didn't speak. He moved closer and kissed me. It wasn't reckless. It was slow, trembling, and filled with questions we didn't ask aloud. Every breath was layered with shame, release, passion, and a desperate need to be felt. When his hand touched mine, I melted. When he kissed my neck, I exhaled years of being unseen. We didn't say a word. Our bodies did the speaking. I expected awkwardness, guilt, silence. Instead, I found him making coffee, barefoot, calm. "Do you regret it?" I asked. "No," he said. "Do you?" "No," I whispered, but I was scared, because it meant I was no longer asleep in my life. Mark returned from his trip. Everything went back to normal, except it didn't. I flinched at his touch. I smiled through guilt. I became an actress in my own home. Ethan avoided me during the day, but at night our eyes met. 100 conversations in a single look. We never did it again, but it lived between us. We began writing small notes. Not love letters, just truths. "I see you. I remember. Thank you." They were hidden in laundry baskets, under coffee mugs, between pages of books. We were silent, but connected. It was both beautiful and unbearable. One night Mark came home early. "You seem distant," he said. I forced a smile. "Just tired." He touched my hand. I flinched again. That night I lay beside my husband, the man who never truly saw me, and I dreamed of the one who did. I wrote a letter to Ethan. Asterisk, "You made me feel alive again. I'm sorry for dragging you into my storm, but I will never forget that moment." Not because of what we did, but because of what it woke in me. You reminded me that I still exist. Sis. I folded it. I never gave it to him. But it lives inside me. Ethan left to finish college. We hugged longer than we should have. He whispered, "I'll always carry it with me." And I knew what he meant. I stayed with Mark. Tried to rebuild. Tried to forget. But I couldn't forget the moment I felt alive. Even if it was wrong. Months passed. I often stood in front of the mirror, touching my lips, remembering the kiss that awakened me. It wasn't Ethan I missed. It was how I felt in his presence. Alive. Desired. Not invisible. I live with the secret. I don't speak of it. But it lingers. I love my husband. But I resent him too. Because it took his son to show me the woman I had buried beneath wife and mother. A woman who needed to be seen. Touched. Of that moment, when I whispered those words to my stepson and he didn't even hesitate, it was the beginning of something that changed me forever. Not because of the act, but because it woke me from a life I was slowly dying in. Now I live more aware of my needs, my boundaries, my worth. And though I regret how it happened, I do not regret waking up. If this story made you feel something even a little, then don't let it fade. Sometimes, the most painful stories are the ones that make us reflect on our own lives. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Comment below what this made you think or feel. And if you want more real, raw, and deeply human stories, subscribe to the channel and join our growing community. Your truth matters. Your voice is not invisible. We'll speak it together.